Welcome to the Four Corners series for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, and we're picking up on the 9th of July 1924. If you watched the previous series, you'll be aware that I was having a bit of a population collapse, and I'm still trying to work out exactly what's causing it. But before we get into any detail, as usual, a big thank you for your comments and feedback. You guys give me so much to think about. Now, I did get a suggestion from someone to say that I should build more monuments because that would really push up the loyalty. Now, the impression I've got is that from the community reports is that the maximum you can get loyalty up to using monuments is between 40 and 50%, depending on the game difficulty. However, at the moment, I'm prepared to give it a try. So what we'll probably be doing is slipping in some more monuments to Lenin in this part. Now, somebody also suggested that it might be advantageous to put in a template up here for dumpers, and I have to admit I am moving that way, even though the fact that I shouldn't really be building dumpers in a blacksmith. But at the moment I'm just looking for any option that we can start to drive our economy forward. I think we're take a look at it. What's the cost of dumper here? So we've got 146,000. I think we will go with that, because the another advantage is that because this dumper only lasts from 1924 to 1928, which is a few years, and I don't think we get another dumper for a little while, so I am going to do that. So we bought that dumper, and I think what we will do is I'm just going to queue up a couple as well, because I feel that we might need them out this way to try and push forward our expansion. And another suggestion I got for the reason why the population is collapsing was pollution. But if I come up here, you'll see that it says I've got no pollution. Although I'm half tempted to possibly build some pollution monitors. I know it's a little bit historically out of context, just to see what that issue is. Because it's still very much a mystery. Because if I just click here, you'll see that it's saying that these people are completely happy. I mean, they've got a loyalty of 41%. They're healthy, they're happy, they're well fed. And even over here, if we come in here as well, it's probably easier if I just show you the overlay. You can see we got very high proportion of happiness, food. Health isn't brilliant, but that's possible. You know, that's to be expected. We've got loyalty. We've got a few question marks here. I do wonder whether we do have a bit of a problem with the secret police here getting out and about. That might be an issue, because of course, if these don't have regular visits, you can't tell what their loyalty actually is. But that is a possible issue there. We've already got the 3 riding horses here, we got there, but I can't really increase the number of agents at the moment, simply because we don't have the workforce. I mean, everything seems to be good. The only thing I can think of is that because the population is so small, I mean, we've only got a population of 2,315 for over 2 villages, and that actually breaks down to only 1,313 workers. In fact, it's probably easier to show you here. So you can see it. I mean, in some ways this stats is a little bit bigger. So we've got a lot of children coming through. So I'm just wondering whether we can just kind of blag it through a little bit. I'm just going to speed the game up and hopefully get the population to grow. Now, somebody did suggest bringing in some extra immigrants, and I am tempted to do that, especially in our core place of New Hope here. But I don't want to bring in a really large quantity. So what I'm thinking is possibly bring in a few from here. So like, so maybe we'll bring in, let's say 10 there. Actually, let's put another 10 over here. I think this is where we're suffering the most. In fact, I'm going to put 20 in here. Just come in like that. So I'm hoping that if we just bring a few immigrants in from time to time, that may actually help. But of course, we got to watch our money, because we don't have that much money left. Hopefully, our population will pick up over time, and we'll be able to get things going. That's all the only thing I can think of at the moment. We're just gonna have to kind of grin and bear it. Now, somebody also suggested an orphanage. Now, one of the problems with an orphanage, especially if you try to build the standard one, this is way too big, but I think I've got a modded version. This is one of the problems with the new loyalty update, is the fact that we don't really have the modded options. I think the only thing we can really go for is this, because I think this is pretty big as well, and of course it needs a lot of workforce. And so I think I'm just wondering, is that suggesting itself there? What advantage if I do that? We can put it next to there. We could get a direct food connection as well. Because one of the problems with orphanages, you've got to provide the food and clothes as well. I think maybe we can drop you in there. And of course, this is going to need to be picked up. We're going to put bulk supply on there as well. And hopefully, what can we have here? We're going to need excavators, bulk supply, and workers here as well. So hopefully, what we're going to need to do is just try and push the population through as the best we can. The problem is that I don't really want to start populating this area, because I think if we drop 100 people in here, it may destabilize the whole population. Plus, I don't really have the money for 100 people. So I think that's about all we can do at the moment. And just, we can try and put some statues in as well. Monuments. I just wonder if we could get a small statue to Lenin in or something like that. What's this? This is 70 meters. So we could possibly say put Lenin in the center here like that, give him a bit of footpath. He can be in the commissar's garden, and then we've got the big star up here. I'm just wondering, maybe we can, I mean, we can celebrate Lenin's life, can't we? So if I put you in there, it says Lenin's statue in copper. Interesting. So we're just gonna get that in there, and of course we're Titus road crew, bulk supply, and excavators on that. I'm kind of a little bit of a loss at the moment about what I can do to make this video interesting, to be honest. It's just gonna be a question of just guiding our little community forward and keeping an eye on issues. I mean, we got a lot of yeah, we got no workers up here, see. I'm just going to drop that right down. In fact, I'm going to shut the bitumen down for the moment. No, we'll just put a small amount of... So we don't have the workers on the outlay here, but we got enough in here to be going on with. We've got 247 logs, so I think at the moment we can just have to muddle through the best we can, because this is one of the problems when you have small populations. If it starts to collapse, it's very quickly your economy collapses, and then that starts a cascade, which will then eventually results in your population completely crashing. Because if there's not enough people in the shops to keep people fed or produce food and things like that, and of course we got the heating plant down here, which is going to need workers as well to just keep everybody happy. And this is one of the problems. I do wonder whether I should have spent a bit more time building a bigger community here before expanding out to Titusville. In fact, I think if I restarted again, I think I would probably expand the community so that the actual population of New Hope would be about 2,500. With all the resources around it, so we probably wouldn't put in these medium cattle fields. Yeah, so we got a new type of vehicle. Okay, what have we got here now? We got two new types of vehicles. What we got here? So we got this looks very much like an open hole. This looks like we're getting some trucks coming in. Oh, we got wow, they've all been sneaking in when I've not been looking. Promise, I don't really want to go too overboard with the trucks at the moment. So we've now got, let's just have a quick look. So we've got a covered hole, a bus. See, the problem is this very short time span for them. 30 kilometers an hour. So we could start putting our community together. We've got 2 covered holes. Although that doesn't really, that looks more like a tanker, I think. We got a tanker, and of course that's the ambulance. We got a Forsen Putterlevet, and that says USA, but it's actually turning up here. I know the fact that American companies did allow the manufacture of their vehicles in the Soviet Union at this period. We got another truck. Wow, they're all coming in thick and fast. This one will run until 1932. These only run to 1928. I don't really want to blow my money on templates, though. That's the problem. I mean, with all due respect to the modders, I mean, this may have been the production period for these vehicles, but I think there is a case to say that these vehicles should have a longer lifespan with respect to the fact that people would recycle them and purchase them more. I think what we're going to need to do is just try and consider. I just don't want to go all out placing the wagons, especially with respect to the fact that we've got a population. So the population is growing a little bit. What's the birth rate now? So the birth rate is running just very slightly ahead of deaths. Of course, the big problem is going to be winter. That's being built. It's being built. No mechanism. Isn't that a surprise? Because we probably haven't got any. We've got no workers here. This is the really big problem. Bulk supply, excavators. This is concrete, isn't it? And we're going to need fighters open transport here. Yeah, I think the problem with this one is it's just too short. I think we're gonna have to bring up workers from here. These guys have got absolutely nothing to do, so you can come up there, you can come into there, and you can work on there as well. You're going to need concrete, steel, and bulk supply on that as well. We'll just try and get those kind of set up. I just feel this is down. These are down to 34 now. Are we actually getting any escapees? Births and deaths are coming in. My temptation is to possibly bring in. I'm going to bring another 30 in here, just to try and get in here. We just check the loyalty. Yeah, see, the loyalty is building up here. So it's up to 50%, which is, I think, it's even better than over here actually. Obviously, nobody wants to be a member of the secret police. That's the problem. I think what we'll probably have to do is be a bit more generous here, because I think part of the problem is I've pushed the secret police up a little bit too high. Probably that's also going to apply to the. Yeah, I think what we're going to have to do is possibly drop this down a little bit, so that we get. I might have pushed that up a little bit too high. From that perspective, I mean, generally everything else is. I mean, we've got this here. We're working on this area here. It says missing mechanical components. What's up with mechanical components? Let's just take a look here. Right, we've got no mechanical components. I don't really want to. Oh, we got dodgy electronics. So Just going to drop that down again. So we may have to resort to importing electronic components, which is going to be another issue as well. Is there anything that... that's true. Let me just check this. You bring electronics down from and mechanical components down to here. It says 10%. I think what we're going to do is just be a little bit cheeky here and try and get some mechanical components from there. I think 10% might be a bit optimistic because consider the fact we're building trucks, and of course we've got no workers here either because our population is too low. I mean, we got steel here. Okay guys, we're just gonna have to try and be a little bit patient here. Apologies for the pace of how things are going, and I mean, if it gets too boring, I'll just keep the video a little bit shorter than normal. So this would be become more of just an update video. Really sad the fact that we've got this really big area out here and we can't exploit it, and we've got fire. This is where things could get a little bit problematic, because if we don't have the fire crews... Oh, here they come. Wait. Hey, on fire, guys. Yep, all done. We're getting traffic jams as well. I think the traffic jams are simply down to the fact that these guys aren't actually doing anything. Yeah, we're just going to have to try and keep an eye on what's going on. Electronics. I'm kind of tempted to try and... I mean, as far as I know, electronics doesn't really make people that happy. Let me see, if we're going to get bulk supply on here, we're going to need workers, and we're going to need excavators as well, and we're going to need open transport. So we'll just try and get this orphanage built and see, maybe hopefully that might improve the situation. The only real problem is we're going to have to deliver clothes. We've got no clothes. Okay, what is... Do we have any... We've got clothes here, but I think we've got a bit of a delivery problem now. Oh no, we got clothes up here, haven't we? Sorry. I was assuming there'd be clothes in here, but of course there's not. The clothes are in there. We're getting clothes, we're getting meat. Let me just see here. We've got food and meat here, and we should have enough clothes in here. That's a bit low, actually. I'm wondering... you've got clothes in here now. Sorry. I'm confusing myself here, and probably gets a little bit of stress building up. Let me just see, how's the population now? Well, back to 2,400. I think that's all I can do at the moment is just try and get the population. I think more importantly also is the average lifespan is rising as well. So it's actually improved a little bit. I think because one thing I do know is that if your lifespan drops, more people die than are born. So you do need to keep that lifespan as high as possible, hopefully, to get things working. Let me just see. I mean, in some ways, I'd like to, as long as we got workers in here, I'm quite happy not for anybody here at the moment. In fact, we'll just kind of open that up a little bit so that we can get a little bit of slow production going on that vehicle. Might be an option. Oh, looks like our statue to Lenin is doing here. It's the steel, but we got steel here. It's just a question of getting it delivered. I mean, overall, the whole community seems to be working. It's just not really pulling itself together. And right, we've got that being built. It's good. So you need mechanical components as well. Yeah, it's this down needs workers. So can you got? I think we're just gonna have to bring the workers up from here. What few workers we got, we're just gonna have to try and stretch it out a little bit here. Just assign workers to there as well. What's assigned to here? Yeah, we need workers. Then we need a mechanism there. We can try and get that built. This would be quite a big step forward if we get that built. Let's just check here. I think at the moment we got the opposite to problem to I had before, where we've got plenty of supplies. I think at the moment we're just gonna have to build what we can out here and then just leave it, and it'd just be a ghost town at the moment. I'm a bit confused why it's interesting. That guy's wandering a really long distance, but you think you could possibly, I don't know, they're covering this area now. I do wonder whether the population is getting a little bit of momentum now. We got the link to here. You're just missing resources, boards and gravel, yeah. Well, these guys are just going to need to get it delivered. I don't think we've got any more roads. We've got a road going out here. I mean, one option we can go for is building some roads, because we don't need workers for roads. Thinking is, should I plan a road out here? I mean, we got a big patch of gravel there. Do a bit of really super long-term planning, because we're gonna have to effectively start a collective farm out here, and I'd probably like it out about here. Let me just take a look at fields. I mean, this is reasonably flat. Too many stones. Interesting. So I'm just wondering, whoops, let me just plan something here. Say for argument's sake, we'll be knocking those fields down. We can possibly bring some big fields in this way across these buildings here. One there. So if for argument's sake we take a road out here like that, and then maybe we do need to get this gravel, so I need to be a bit aware that we're going to bring rail tracks in here. So maybe if we kind of come out like that, and then you can kind of curve around the back of the farm like that, and then say for argument's sake you go across like that, we hook you in like that, and then because I put a road in through here, see, so say for argument's sake we put a road like that, we can build a road structure out round here, which would be our expansion. once we start collectivization and things like that. I hope, see if this will get, this is already being detected, so that will give these guys something to do. I think this might be, what we'll do is we'll just leave the bulk supply and road crew here to work through these roads, because they're not crucial, but they will provide a connection. The above advantages, if we create a road round there, means I can actually gravel in these sections here as well. Still don't have any mechanical components. Let me just have a look. Got electro components. We have a covered hole down here. I want a covered hole. You're a passenger. I'm looking for a covered hole, please, game. How many covered holes have we got in here at the moment? Concrete, concrete, concrete. I need a covered hole. One that's not doing anything at the moment. Right, I'm just going to steal you for 5 minutes. I just don't really want to throw those electro components apart away. Actually, I just had a thought. I'm doing this the wrong way round, aren't I? Oh, you're actually just moving them. I think what we could do at the moment is, if I put you to, well, it says you're already there. I think what we're going to do is add electro components to there. And sorry about this. I'm not thinking laterally. And I think at the moment we're just going to sell off those electro components. Because we got that bit there. I know I'm being a bit of a tightwad, but how's the population going? Get my population obsession go. So we're back to 2,433, and we are now, our births are now exceeding deaths, and we're not getting any escapes. So I think what we're going to need to do is just kind of keep trundling through here, see if we can get the orphanage done and anything else done. Right, these guys, everything is winding down at the moment. Right, we've got this built, and you're going to store oil. It's a nice step forward. Have you got power? Yes, you got power. That's good. What we just need to do now is just build this section through it. So we must have got some mechanical components out here without me noticing. Right, let's just see. Is bulk supply? You've got nothing to do either. We've built all the roads out there. I think what we will do is I'm going to do a bit of local road building here at the moment, and Titus road crew, bulk supply. Excavators on there. Apologies that this is a little bit of a grind, but I just can't think of anything else we can do. We've got this section we can build in as well. We've got steel here. We've got stuff around which can be used. Let me just. Right, you've got the electronics. This is worth 6,000 rubles, so we'll just let you sell off that those electronics. And what we'll do now is just nip you off of here, North Cape Trading, and just put you back to the where you were before. And what that should do is it should open up this. I know it's a bit of micromanagement, but wow. Right, we've got ordinary electronics now. I really feel at the moment, this is partly desperation, I think. We're going to go there, but what I'm going to do is deliver that to... Yeah. Yeah. We don't need to store... We don't need that high, do we? So we can kind of push that up a little bit. And then we can put 0.56 tons of electronics in there. Hopefully that will kind of push this out here. Well, how much electronics does a truck need? Have a look here. A dumper, isn't it, we're building? Yeah, I mean, the amount of electronics and plastics a dumper needs is just infinitesimal. Okay, this guy's... Let's get him to go and deliver some electronics to here. That will fill this up. I don't know whether that's going to make anyone any happier. I mean, I could bring forward the advent of radio by a few years. Prior to the creation of Radio Moscow, there was a growing local ham radio community going. Is there going to be scope to be able to put in a small local radio station here? Let me just see. Let's just have a look at the mod point of view. What's it for broadcasting, isn't it? Because we got a tiny little radio station here that we could put in. Probably, well, we're going to put the electronics here, aren't we? So we've only got... So opinions, do you think that would work? The problem is, again, it says their minimum number of workers 30 and 10. I don't think we've got anything smaller. Feel free to chuck it in the comments. Do you think we should go for our own local radio station just to try and get things going a bit quicker? I'm open to suggestions. All right, we've now got the orphanage. And we've got a whole pile of food in here. We've got to make sure our... we'll put you to 35. And what you'll see is missing supplies for childcare. We're going to reduce you down a bit to say 12. And what we need to do now is get some clothes deliveries over there. Who's distributing clothes? I'm not exactly sure. I'm not exactly sure why you are. You're picking up clothes here. You're the export one. You're meant to be exporting the surplus. This is to Titus. Just see here. Okay, this is the one that we're going to have to add here, and we're going to have to just drop some clothes into there. And how's the store here? 6 tons. I think we're probably go for materials to Titus. Let's get down to here. I think 30% would be pretty adequate. I think what I might need to do is just refine some of this storage in. Well, we got 10 parents that we got there, so we'll just have to see if this is going to have an effect with respect to children. And we've got the food for it. I think maybe in some ways having the orphanages here would be quite advantageous. Missing supplies, yeah, but that'd be okay. We also need a meat delivery here as well. So that means we're going to need another, what we call it, truck in here. Refrigeration truck. I don't think I've got any spare ones though. I am starting to wonder whether we should get some covered holes to try and speed up the collection of the crops from the fields. I think all I'm going to do is let it run through to the winter to see if anything will actually improve. Have you actually got a workforce on here? You got New Hope workers on here. Yeah, that's good. I think this truck production is just... I know I'm going to throw away some progress. We're going to cancel that. I'm just going to build a refrigeration truck here. Actually, I've just had a thought. Come here. Do we have a refrigeration truck? I think I'm just going to buy one of these, actually, to be honest, and we'll set him up to pick up meat from here, and we'll deliver it to the orphanage. The central party has decided that the orphanage needs meat, and we're going to deliver it to here. We do need to keep these alive. Yeah, it says demand satisfied. Quite interesting of the party loyalty here. Also interested in the fact that oh well, we're just gonna have to see how that goes. I'm not a bit worried about that, my cash flow as well. So we've got our statue to Lenin. Let me just come in here. Just move in a little bit here. And I'm just it's G, isn't it? I'm just gonna hold it for a few seconds because I think it's about time I made a new thumbnail. Maybe we're just moving a little bit closer. Maybe we're just turn it around that way a bit. No, it wouldn't be politically correct to show the dirty side of a building on it. So I think we'll use that as the new thumbnail. Oops. I think that'd be better, wouldn't it? Just move it over a little bit. So we've got a statue of Lenin here. How's the... Is that actually... Let's just see. It'll be very interesting to see if that actually does. The loyalty is still very low here. It's almost like the whole place is struggling a little bit. Maybe we got a more rebellious population here compared to the other side. I mean, the statues should start to have an effect. We got here... I think probably part of the problem also is the fact that this is a bigger town, and I don't think this is really got there with horses. Do we have a personal vehicle? We just see... No, we're still stuck with the riding horses. I've got a feeling one option we may have to go for is a personal vehicle for the secret police, so they can get around a little bit quicker. Population again. So was kind of just there at 463 at the moment. So we are slowly creeping our population up. And we are getting a lot of children. Yeah, so maybe if we avoid losing the children, that might make a difference. I think maybe it might be worth actually increasing this a little bit, so that we get a benefit, because there's no children waiting outside. But what we do need to do is get the deliveries of meat and clothes here, because there's still 96% at the moment. I think maybe that building an orphanage is a good way to go. It's certainly worth remembering for the future. Tiny amount of electronics here. Got nothing set. We got no engineers. Okay, let's just go back to trying to build a dumper, and we'll just treat this as a slow burn project for the moment. Yeah, mechanical components is the issue. See what's holding everything up. Plastics. Opinions, do you think I should be exporting the surpluses of plastics and electronics and everything now? If not for no other reason than it's just trying to make some money, feel free to chuck it in the comments and we'll discuss it and consider it as an option going forward. I'm going to be completely honest, I'm kind of running out of things to say at the moment simply because we're just waiting for that population to build up, and that's going to be the problem. So I think this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it interesting. What I will do is play on all the way through winter into next year and see if we can get through the winter without losing too many population, because I think, to be the honest truth, is that until we've got back to, say, well, all these buildings here kind of maxed out again. I mean, we're getting there in New Hope. Let's just see here. How about Titusville? The Titusville needs more work, and I mean, I could bring in a few more people, I think, just to nudge it in the right direction. Let me just see. I think we're just going to increase our there. Yeah, I think I'm gonna bring in some more secret police, I think. Actually, we're bringing a couple more in here. Bring in another 20 in there. And how are we over here? And we're just going to increase this. I think we just need that extra coverage. And then we're bringing the... what was that? Oh, we brought some immigrants in from the third world. I think maybe we just need the strongest military secret police patrols as well, just to try and get things going. Right, so I think this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it interesting. Opinions on exporting stuff from here will be really welcome. And until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.